and John Pearson.
Thank you, Tom. Well, Detroit just about the same position point-wise as they were a year ago, and that's not good enough for the playoffs. Tough for Detroit, John.
It certainly is, Fred, and tough for this beautiful rink, the Joe Louis Arena. The big crowds they've been drawing, but the Red Wings have had problems, and they look like they may not make the playoffs again this year. But the Bruins have their hands full here tonight based on the fact that they've had a problem scoring goals, or at least that's what the team says. And when that happens, I think sometimes you have to worry a little bit more about the mistakes in your own end. If you work on those, the offense will sooner or later work itself out. Too many good goal scorers around on the Bruins to worry about it. But I think the key to tonight's game could be the fact that the Bruins should not make too many glaring errors in their own end.
Fine player, Reed Larson, for Detroit on defense.
They have some class players, and this is one of them. Number 28, Reed Larson, 76th draft player for the Red Wings. He's the new breed of defenseman, not that big, good skater, strong shooter. They're going to have to watch him on the point because he can really shoot a puck, and he is a very offensive-minded player.
And the Bruins can more than match him with 21-year-old Ray Bourque, an all-star defenseman, and really playing that way.
You got to like the way this guy is playing at this moment. He is back to the form of his rookie year when he won the Calder Trophy and was the first-team all-star on defense. A tremendous skater, good reflexes. He anticipates the play well. And although we have not seen the last 3 games on the road, I have never seen Ray Bourque play any better than he did in the previous 5 or 6 games. Just a great player.
Okay, the goaltender, Gilles Gilbert for Detroit, and for Boston, Marco Barron. We'll have the opening face-off in just a minute.
More stuffing, Mom.
Glad you like it. My family really loves my stuffing recipe. They don't know it's Rice-A-Roni's delicious new bread stuffing. The secret is in the flavor packet, a perfect blend of herbs and seasonings, a smidgen of rice in one, wild rice in the other, both with real chicken flavor and toasted breadcrumbs. 2 old-fashioned bread stuffing recipes, new from Rice-A-Roni, the flavor family.
Great stuffing, Mom.
The Toyota 7th Player Award, presented by TV38 and your New England Toyota dealers, to the Boston Bruins player that you, the fans, feel has performed beyond all expectations. This year, the winning player and one lucky fan, randomly chosen from the votes received, will be awarded their choice of a Toyota SR5 sports truck or a Celica GT liftback. To enter, pick up an official ballot at your New England Toyota dealer, or send a postcard before midnight March 5th to 7th Player Award, P.O. Box 38, Brighton, Mass. 02135.
This about for you, a beauty too.
The fabulous 26th annual New England.
In the Western Canada swing, Calgary, Edmonton, and Vancouver with a game in Minnesota. Tomorrow night we'll be in Philadelphia against the Philadelphia Flyers, and then next Wednesday night in Hartford against the Hartford Whalers. And now, ladies and gentlemen, prior to tonight's National Hockey League game, our national anthem. Canadian and American national anthem sung prior to tonight's game between the Red Wings and the Bruins as we look at the referee, Brian Lewis. And that's Gordon Brosecker on your left, and at center ice right there is Wayne Bonney. And the goaltenders for tonight's action, Marco Barron in goal for the Boston Bruins. He has started at 9 out of the last 10 for Boston, his 30th of the year, 3.11 goals against. And a familiar mask at the other end of the ice, Gilles Gilbert, former Boston Bruin, his 23rd start of the year, 4.18. And here for the great play-by-play for the Red Wings and the Bruins, Joe Louis Arena, here's Fred Cusick.
And Barry Peterson is facing off against a rookie just called up from Windsor Junior Hockey, number 8, Claude Loisel. He has on the right Mike Blaisdell and John Ogrodnik. At center ice, it's snapped in by Ray Bourque. Back is Jim Schoenfeld, acquired in that big trade from Buffalo. Intercepted by Middleton. Can't center it. Now Battles gets it, steals, has it in front. Backhander, blocked. As a quick backhander by Peterson. Kept in by Bourque. Whipped around the boards and back to collect to Ogrodnik, trying to move it out. And he does. Back is Bourque. Bourque starting on defense with Hilliard. And at center ice, Peterson broken up. Reed Larson, the defenseman, moves it over the line. Kept in by Ogrodnik for Loisel, broken up, and out comes Peterson with the Leveille on the right wing side now. But Peterson broken up on the play, loses to Blaisdell. Jim Schoenfeld coming back. Long shot, kicked out by Barron, out of the zone. As the lines change, Marcotte trying to break. He's checked, can't set up a play with Fergus. So Marcotte, Fergus, O'Reilly, this line. Puck batted around, controlled again by Jim Schoenfeld. Schoenfeld up to Mark Osborne, number 23, rolls it in. Melnick trying to move it out. Checked in the play by, over on the boards, by number 17, Jody Gage, and a face-off call. This broadcast authorized by the Boston Bruins Hockey Club solely for the entertainment of our viewing audience. Any broadcast, rebroadcast, or other use of the accounts or descriptions of this game without the express written consent of the Boston Bruins or TV 38 is prohibited. McKechnie has Gage on one wing. The draw goes to Melnick, fell down, back up, gets it to Marcotte, and he's out with Ferguson O'Reilly. A flip in. First down at Gilbert, just ahead of O'Reilly, kept in by Fergus. Fergus off the corner, shot, and it's wide. That good wrist shot of Tom Fergus. And Willie Huber drives it out of the zone. Park gets it back to O'Reilly. O'Reilly battling Walt McKechnie, and Fergus picks it up for Larry Melnick. For O'Reilly. And it's cleared away by Jim Korn on defense. Back comes number 12, Ted Nolan, losing. And Marcotte with it for Boston. No score, 2 minutes played, first period. Park has trouble with McKechnie, gets it to O'Reilly. O'Reilly now to Melnick. For O'Reilly. And the loose puck at center ice batted finally in the Red Wing zone, where Reed Larson has it. Right now he's on defense with John Barrett. It's whipped up on the left to number 19, Eric Vail. He's broken up. At center ice, Casper. Keith Crowder with Bruce Crowder. Around the boards, O'Connell and the Crowders moving in, battling for it in the corner. Vail trying to move it out. And finally, a whistle for a face-off. With the score of Boston nothing, Detroit nothing, Bruins hockey will continue in a moment. The faceoff goes to Reed Larson in the corner, trying to move it out with Paul Woods, broken up by O'Connell, but it bounces into center ice. And breaking Derek Smith, long shot wide of Barron, kept in now by number 10, Lofthouse, lost it to Casper. Casper to Keith Crowder, he's on left wing, Bruce is on right wing. In deep, O'Connell trying to come out. Checked in the play by Lofthouse, and Lofthouse is going out for hooking. And a power play for Boston. With the score, Boston nothing, Detroit nothing, let's pause for this message.
This one.
First penalty of the hockey game goes to the Red Wings, Mark Lofthouse. 3:04 the time, first period.
Draw to Park. Gets it over to Bork. Forechecking is number 12, Nolan. Park ready to start it out. Forechecking Paul Woods for the Red Wings. Park center ice. McNabb is at right wing. Park to Bork over the line. He wheels it in deep. Middleton going for it. Leaves it for Park behind the net. Park holding there. Gets it off to McNabb. McNabb for Bork. Bork covering right point. Back up for Middleton. Middleton across the other side to Peterson. Has to get the rolling puck. Had a problem with it. And it is blocked by Park. Kept in for McNabb. For Middleton. Back for McNabb trying to cut to the net. Can't get it. Rolls around the boards. Right point Bork with it. Back up to Middleton. Middleton lost it on the dribble. And it's cleared by Nolan. And about a minute left on the power play. Lofthouse out for hooking. No score opening minutes at Joe Louis Arena. Park center ice for Bork. Over the line. Ray fires. It's deflected wide. McNabb centers. And blocked by Gilbert. Picked up by Peterson. A quick shot. And he missed the short side. Bork trying to keep it in. Does. Checked in the play by Derek Smith. In deep, Middleton battling for it along with Peter McNabb. And number 3, John Barrett. Barrett wheels it around. Can't move out. Kept in by McNabb. Looking for Middleton. In front. And the quick pass did not connect. Middleton open. McNabb made the feed. 22 seconds left on the power play. No score, Boston and Detroit. Park starts it out. Still holding for Bork. Bork, a lead in for Peter McNabb. McNabb takes a hard hit from Barrett. It gets the puck back to Bork. Bork over to Park. Good position off for Peterson. Look, shoots, scores! Peterson from Park and Bork power play. And Boston leads 1-0.
The name of the game is being able to pass the puck. Ray Bork, Brad Park combined, but watch this beautiful play by Brad Park over to Peterson. He picks his spot, top corner, far side, over the strength of Gilbert with that catching glove. And the little wrist shot found its mark. A power play goal for the Bruins, but credit Park and Bork throwing that thing around. The 32nd goal of the year for Barry Peterson on beautiful passing by the point man, Park and Ray Bork, and it comes at 5:04 just as the Red Wings came back to full strength.
Okay, so maybe not a power play goal as McCrimmon clears it out. Now McKechnie with it, teams at full strength, 1-0 Boston. That beautiful wrist shot of Barry Peterson to finish off the fine passes. O'Connell breaks up a pass, trying to move it out. Lost it, gets it back, gives it to McCrimmon. Now to Marcotte. Fergus, O'Reilly. O'Reilly holds it inside the line. Gets it off to McCrimmon. Good fed there, and it's blocked in a screen. And deflects around to Jody Gage. Gage to McKechnie. 14-year veteran trying to move it in for his left winger Mark Osborne. It's ruled now tied up. Little jamming there. O'Reilly. Schoenfeld. That Boston leads 1-0.
Excellent start for the Boston Bruins. Good forechecking, coming back nicely, moving that puck out of their own end, which of course is a big key in the National Hockey League. How well you move it out of your own end as we look at Jim Schoenfeld, number 2. Acquired by the Red Wings in that big trade that sent Foligno over to Dale McCourt and Foligno to the Buffalo Sabres in exchange for Derek Smith, Danny Gare, and Jim Schoenfeld. Of course, Peterson also went to Buffalo Sabres from the Red Wings in that trade, as well as Bob Sauvé, the goaltender.
That shot by Peterson turned out to be the first on net. Here comes Barrett over the line, moving in deep. And a beautiful block on the play by Larry Melnick to Bruce Crowder. Fires in, looking for brother Keith. Keith battling, and it is called for icing on the play.
The goal for the Boston Bruins, Peterson is 32nd of the year. Ray Bork and Brad Park assisting at 5:04, a power play goal with Lofthouse in the penalty box. The Bruins injury list has grown by 1. Of course, Crowder is back. Milbury's out. Cashman, Keith Crowder is back. But Mike Gillis is out with a Charlie horse. Back in Boston, suffered in the Edmonton game on Sunday. And we're not sure when he'll be back.
Barrett, a shot is wide from the left point. Larson drills it. Blocked wide by Barrett. Rebound is fought for over on the boards. Vale trying to get it. He's on with Nedomansky. Bruce Crowder intercepted by Larson. Kept it in. Goes to Nedomansky. A shot. Short side save. Rebound. Vale overskates. Can't get the drive on the net. And the Bruins work it up and out of the zone. Casper rolls it down wide of Gilbert. Back is Reed Larson. Very much an offensive line here as Keith Crowder puts a bear hug on it. Here's a drive from in close by Casper, deflected in the stands. Ryan Lewis let it go as Keith Crowder really wrapping up the defense, but no call there.
Mike Milbury, we mentioned, has missed his 14th game with right knee ligament, suffered in the Pittsburgh game January the 20th, ran into Ron Stackhouse. He's out till first part mid-March, I would assume. Wayne Cashman with a Charlie horse suffered in the Colorado game. This is his 8th game he's missed. And Mike Gillis missing his 2nd game.
Shot by Bork and a big save, Gilbert, as McNabb got it back to Ray Bork. Bork battles to keep it in, does, then lost control. Horn clears out. Bork back to get it. Rolls it to Hillier, the rookie who plays with Bork. Up to McNabb, right to O'Reilly with Jonathan and McNabb. A lead in. First in on it. Jonathan in front. Quick shot save on McNabb. A beauty. Oh, Jonathan set up Peter McNabb right in front. O'Reilly battles behind the net. Still battling, trying to poke it in front. Can't set it. Bork moves in, fires, and it's wide as the Bruins storm the Detroit end. Hillier back up for O'Reilly, center ice to start the play right back with Jonathan. Can't move in. Bork seems to be everywhere. O'Reilly got knocked down on the play. Puck fed in wide of Barron. Could be icing. No, he's playing it. Can't clear it out. Kept in up the boards. Loisel is battling Hillier. Puck pinned, and a face-off is called. From the Joe Louis Arena, the score: Boston 1 and Detroit nothing.
We're Eastern America's favorite.
Face-off is to the right of Barron. 12:19 left, first period, 1-0 Boston. Barry Peterson, a power play goal. His 32nd of the year. Just a picture wrist shot. He's made so many of them. Around the boards, Larson is broken up on the play, but the Bruins, Peterson can't break with it. Middleton does, though, over the line, cutting right. The shot deflected wide by Schoenfeld, never reached Gilbert. Kept in by Peterson in front for Leveille, but his drop pass goes to center ice. O'Connell, who's on with McCrimmon, up to Leveille. Leveille at left wing with Peterson and Middleton. Peterson bumped at center ice, rolls it off for Middleton. Middleton for O'Connell. Up now for Leveille. He missed it. Detroit trying to come back. Woods broken up on the play by Middleton. Puck is taken by Jody Gage for Schoenfeld. Schoenfeld, a flip in. Pop fly. Barron gives it to McCrimmon. McCrimmon checked behind the net by Gage, by Woods, and gets a face-off.
One of the differences in the Boston Bruins this year as opposed to last is the youngsters that they've added this year. Fergus being one, Peterson another, Leveille, Melnick, and now Randy Hillier. They move the puck very quickly, have good anticipation, and they're very quick to take advantage of an opening. And like that Randy Hillier, youngster, 6'1", 178, 21 years of age.
Barron kicks it out. Rebound! He got it off Nedomansky, and a face-off is called again to the right of Barron.
One of the things about Randy Hillier you have to like best, when he gets the puck, he has a good idea, spots the open man very well. There's Nedomansky's drive. The puck was on edge, but he managed to get it on Marco Barron, and he grabbed it with the glove, as the Bruins have done a nice job so far protecting their goaltender.
On the drop, it is Marcotte moving out with it. Marcotte to O'Reilly. O'Reilly coming on Barrett, going wide. Barrett, a hard hitter. Moves him into the corner. Marcotte in to get it, though. Drops it in front. Nedomansky. Rarely is he back there. Back to dig it out ahead of Tom Fergus. Pass up to the Boston line. Over the line, Eric Vale. Nedomansky near the net, but overskated by Vale. Fergus always back to help out. The 19-year-old youngster, excellent on defense. Helps to move it out with Melnick, who's knocked down on the play. Bats it over the Detroit line. It's cleared away quickly. Nedomansky can't move on Park. Back to cover. Melnick. 10:40 left, first period. 1-0 Boston. Power play goal by Barry Peterson. Number 32 for him. Bruins meet Philadelphia tomorrow night. Long pass up to O'Reilly off to Fergus. But they can't move on Barrett now. O'Reilly does. And they ruled Fergus offside on the play. Have a fine young director at Channel 38, Mark Quinzel, who has done a lot of work on many of the update features in our hockey telecasts. And his brothers Keith and Brian are recovering at Boston Children's Hospital after kidney transplant. And, of course, we wish them all the best.
Looking at the Boston bench, Gary Doak, Dan Canny, John Forrestal, of course, in the center, Jerry Cheevers, the coach. John Rattel up in the press area near where we're sitting, watching this game. Goes down to the dressing room between periods to discuss the details with Doak and Cheevers and some of the players.
Bruce Crowder moves in, checks the play, but it rolls to Schoenfeld. Bruce Crowder after him. Larson off for John Grodnick, one of the fine players. He's broken up, but Keith Crowder can't capitalize. Keith is at left wing. Now Bork back to Hillier. Hillier seems always to be there. Bork doing the bulk of the work, the skating, the passing. Bork hauled down on a play here, and Larson gets it off on the left for Grodnick. Puck loose and just tied up now on the play by Mark O'Barron, as Grodnick forced a threat there when Bork was knocked down at center ice.
Watch the good use of the goaltender stick. That's Grodnick across to Derek Smith, cutting it off the wing. And here's the stick by Mark O'Barron. And he took the puck right away from Derek Smith as he cut in off that right wing. A beautiful goaltending play. The use of the goaltender stick. No better than Jerry Cheevers for many years with the Bruins, now behind the bench. But that was a beautiful exhibition of the goaltender effectively using the goaltending stick.
Number 24 is Derek Smith on the faceoff with Casper. The draw goes to the Detroit zone. They list Boston with one shot on net, which I find a little incredulous, but it doesn't matter. It was a goal. At center ice, Larson on the break over the line. The shot. That was Mike Blaisdell, the winger, and it was deflected by Bork into the stands.
One thing that Keith Crowder has a problem with, and anybody would when you change from one wing to the other, is getting acclimatized to playing the opposite side and not wandering over to your old side. And that's one of the things he's going to have to adjust to.
Walt McKechnie on the faceoff with Steve Casper, 9:36 left. They list Detroit with 3 shots, Boston with 1. Here's a bid now by Korn, and he missed, and not by much. And the puck cleared away, and racing Casper may get there. Dives for it, and just beaten to it by Korn. Now to Huber, to McKechnie. Walt up over the Boston line, leaves it along the line, off on the right for Huber. His shot deflected. Of John Donnelly, our director for this telecast from Joe Louis Arena. He's with U.S. Customs in Detroit. Just graduated from Northeastern University this past year, and enjoying this one so far with Boston in front, 1-0. 9:10 left, first period. In the Boston zone, it's kept in. Korn delayed, the shot popped in the air, blocked, and the Bruins have a good break here. They get it off, but the offside pass goes to Casper, as McNabb was also over.
The only goal of the hockey game so far at 5:04 on the power play. Peterson from Borken Park, his 32nd of the year. Now let's pause 5 seconds for station identification. This is the TV 38 Bruins Network.
This is TV 38, WSBK-TV, Boston.
Faceoff is just at the Boston blue line, 8:58 left in the first period. Peter McNabb is centering Stan Jonathan and Keith Crowder. Puck cleared in. Barron missed it, kept in by Vail, and the drop pass goes all the way to the Detroit zone. Back foot Larson, forechecking Jonathan, and missed. Jonathan gets it. Jonathan back on the point, and it deflects away, and Detroit breaks out with it. Nedomansky to Nolan, to Nedomansky for a bid and a score! Nedomansky, set up by Nolan, ties it at 1.
Beautiful passing by the Detroit Red Wings. This is Nedomansky carrying the puck, passing it over to Ted Nolan on the wing. Back to Nedomansky. He cuts in, good wrist shot, far corner. And he just beat Mark O'Barron cleanly to the far side. Nedomansky from Nolan, 11:25. As the Bruins controlled the puck in the Red Wing end, but let it slip away, and the Red Wings came out 3-on-2 and converted to tie this game at 1 apiece.
And back now comes Peterson. He's on with Leveille and Middleton. We've not seen this line. together. That is with Levier on the left wing. Peterson battling to keep it in, but it is cleared away by Agrodnik into the Boston end. Barron away from Blaisdell. Boiselle battles for it. It bounces over on the boards. Agrodnik again with Park after him. Now Peterson trying to move it out. Park gets it. Park to Peterson. Barry couldn't set up Norman Levier, and Huber knocks it away. Melnick to Levier, into Peterson, trying to get control, couldn't quite do it. Watching him and tying him up is Agrodnik. Boiselle loses. A drive by Melnick, tipped by Middleton, pops in the air, and back is Schoenfeld. Peterson checks him. Park trying to keep it in, has to play it back to Melnick. Melnick slides it away from Mike Blaisdell. Up to Peterson. Peterson just broken up by Schoenfeld, who dove for it, as he will do so many times in a game. Middleton at center ice. Now for Peterson. They swing it in the zone, but the lines change with 7:19 left in a 1-1 game here. Back comes Detroit. Into center ice, Huber, big 6'7" defenseman. Blocked for Bork. Off for Hillier. Hillier to Marcotte. Marcotte breaks, trying to beat Larson. He's checked. And McKechnie back to clear it away into center ice. Can't move with it. Now they kick it up ahead, but O'Reilly takes over at the Boston line. For Bork. Back for Fergus. Now O'Reilly. Now Ray Bork. They still list Boston with one shot. Well, there's number 2. Gotta be. It was on the net from Bork. In deep, the Bruins fight for it. Rolls around the boards, and Detroit works it out. Blaisdell to McKechnie. Broken up by the back checking of O'Reilly. Back is Reed Larson. He's on defense with Barrett. Up on the left wing side. The pass to Osborne. He's checked. O'Reilly trying to move in, and as you can well understand, Detroit's playing a very tight defensive game in front of Gilbert. 1-1 the score. They just fire the puck out of the zone. Back comes Brad McCrimmon. 6:10 left, 1-1. McCrimmon, O'Reilly. O'Reilly, play offside. Tickets for the next 5 Bruins home games against New York Rangers, Los Angeles, Winnipeg, Detroit, and Montreal are now on sale at the Boston Garden box office and Ticketron. Garden box office open daily from 11 to 7 and Sundays 1 to 7. Tickets for all remaining Bruins home games may be charged to your MasterCard or Visa by calling the Garden Ticket Charge line at 742-0200. Back comes Nolan for Detroit over the line. Drops it for Nedemansky. He's in deep. Centered it. It rolls away and taken now by Keith Crowder. He's stopped by the back checking of Nolan. Huber fires it out. Blocked by McCrimmon. Can't set up Bruce Crowder, and breaking Jim Korn. Korn over the line. Goes wide on O'Connell. Centers it right on the stick of McCrimmon. Away to Bruce Crowder. Bruce for Casper. Long one. Knocked down by Gilbert. Taking over Nolan. Can't clear it. Left point. McCrimmon fires, deflected high. Bounces wide to the right. Bale pops it out to center ice. Stopped by Bruce Crowder. Is back checking. To Keith Crowder. To Casper. Has an opening. Trying to beat. Oh, what a save by Gilbert on Steve Casper. Y'all watching Boston Bruins hockey from Joe Louis Arena.
He's got a magnificent catching glove, and watch this stop on Steve Casper coming in off the left side, and he was well positioned out the top of the goal crease, and the far corner was open, and he went for it. Gilbert came up with a catching glove.
Peterson on the draw, has Levier out there, got it across to Levier. He's broken up by Schoenfeld. Agrodnik trying to move it out. Now Schoenfeld for Larson, and Detroit starts it away. Up to Schoenfeld. Schoenfeld to Agrodnik. Back to Schoenfeld. Agrodnik, and the shot deflected in the stands.
The Red Wings, who are currently in 6th place in the only 6-team division in the National Hockey League, that's the Norris Division. They trail the Leafs by 1 point. They're 6 points out of a playoff spot, and they do an awful lot of running around. And one of the things that you can do to help them when you're playing against them is to do some running around. The Bruins are doing that right now. They've got to stay more disciplined in this hockey game. It's 1-1 score, but especially through center ice and into their own end. The wingmen have to stay on their own wings so the defensemen can understand what's going on. They can play it by the book. If you continue to run around, boy, you could cause a lot of problems for your own defensemen.
Out come the Bruins. Leveille moves it to Middleton. He's got a break here over the line coming on Schoenfeld. Moves wide, shifts, stick handles, tried to center it. It's around the boards. Leveille trying to get it back to Park. Park moved it up the boards, intercepted, and out comes Blaisdell. Blaisdell tried a 40-footer blocked by Melnick into the corner they had fought for. Jammed up in the Boston end. Agrodnik dug it free. Watched all the way by Peterson. Now it's kept in to Blaisdell. Blaisdell trying to flip it through, blocked, and Barry Peterson starts it away. Stick handling, center ice for Middleton. Middleton over the line. They let him go, and his shot is blocked, though. Cleared away by Larson. Hillier back to Middleton. Middleton looking for Leveille. Couldn't set him up. And it is cleared by Detroit. Might be icing. And it is. First period action will continue from Detroit in just a moment. Fergus and McKechnie on the faceoff to the left of Gilbert. 1-1 the score. That's batted around, and Huber takes it. For McKechnie. Can't set up his play on the right wing to Gage. Hillier moves it out of the Boston zone, and Barrett starts the play again. Back to Huber. For Barrett. In the center ice, McKechnie missed it. Gage whips it in. And back is Hillier. Up to Marcotte. He's open. Breaks with Fergus and O'Reilly. Fergus, a flip in wide. Looking for O'Reilly. He moves in and couldn't center the pass. McKechnie collects for Detroit. Hit by Fergus, can't move out, kept in by Bork, rolls to Huber of Detroit. Around for Barrett with 2:56 left. Again fired out, and again icing. And O'Reilly set to square off with Huber. And we may have penalties here. We're in the first period with the score Boston 1 and Detroit 1.
Dodge has a good thing.
A battle has broken out here at the Joe Louis Arena as we look at the linesman trying to pry Mark Osborne away from Randy Hillier, as the original altercation was between O'Reilly and Huber. I don't know how the penalties will go. Hillier and Osborne will definitely get penalties. Whether O'Reilly and Huber will be assessed penalties, we'll have to wait and see. The penalties called at 17 minutes and 12 seconds of the first period. Getting back to my dissertation as we look at Jerry Cheevers behind the Boston bench about running around in your own end and through center ice, what you have to stay is discipline, and when you do that, if you're the left winger, you pick out somebody that comes down that side. He may not be the same number as their right winger, which is the man you're supposed to check, but you stay over there, somebody's eventually going to be over there from that team. It may be they're running around, so it may be the center iceman, or it may be their left winger, not the man you're supposed to cover. You don't want to run all over the ice looking for the man that is your check. Just stay on that side and play it cool and wait for the breaks, because you're going to get them sure as shooting with a team that's running around as much as the Red Wings.
On the face-off, Casper tried to move it in. Looks like 5-minute penalties to Osborne and Hillier for fighting. And the teams are at full strength. So Casper is centering. Keith Crowder on the left, Bruce Crowder on the right with Ray Bork and Mike O'Connell. The draw knocked away to center ice by Vail. Vail loses to Bork, came over beautifully to cover there. And Bork over the line, dropped it off, but it's Vail intercepting. Eric Vail, ex-Calgary Flame, in the center ice. A lead in for Nolan. Nolan, quick and fast, moves in, centers. Quick shot goes wide. Bork battles Nolan. Rolls it up on the right for Bruce Crowder. Bruce can't set up Casper. Schoenfeld takes over, looking for Nedomansky, broken up by Bork. Bork's lead for Keith Crowder too far. At center ice now. Play broken up by O'Connell for Bruce Crowder. Can't set it for Keith. O'Connell for Casper over the line, left wing. Moving for Keith Crowder. Can't get the pass in front, though. Still a battle. Fought for behind the net. Rolls over to Schoenfeld. Jim Schoenfeld checked by Bruce Crowder. And Bale clears it out. And Nolan moves it to the Boston end. 1:44 left. And they say, look at this.
Going to be a penalty called here by the referee, Brian Lewis, but I have no idea who it's on. Probably the Bruins with 1:43 left to play in the first period. Those penalties, Hillier and Osborne, 5 minutes for fighting.
Stay with us between periods for many one-on-one opening round girls competition between Cape Cod seniors and Hudson. Later we'll feature some highlights from the Red Wings' former home, the Olympia. Face-off is in the Boston zone.
A lot of nostalgia out of that Olympia Stadium as Mike O'Connell has gone to the, oh no, it's two penalties are called. Steve Casper and Nedomansky are in the penalty box, probably for high sticking, I would assume. 18-17 the time.
Face-off in the Boston zone. Peterson against Woods. Won by Peterson for Brad Park. Park starts it out. Slashing on Casper. Off now on the right for McCrimmon. Peterson tipped in. Blocked by Gilbert. Off for Huber. Huber to Barrett. With 1:20 left in the first period. 1-1 the score. Out comes Mike Blaisdell. His shot is blocked by McCrimmon. Woods gets it back to Huber. Right point shot. Missed the net. Rebound. Might be a break here. Middleton. Rick gets it out for McCrimmon. Coming up on Huber. Drops it for Peterson. Peterson wheeling in the zone is checked. Rolls it in deep. Barrett, Middleton go for it. Rick battling him. Barrett able to clear it on the other side. And Willie Huber over to get it. Detroit doing a lot of that. Clearing back again. Middleton steals from Barrett. Cuts in front. And Gilbert went the right way. Gilbert dove up. Had Rick made one more move, he could have flipped it over him.
A little bit of prior anticipation here by Gilbert almost proved costly for him. Look at he moves before Middleton gets released the puck. Tried to hit a centering pass out to Barry Peterson, but on the way through, Gilbert grabbed it with the catching glove. And we have 42 seconds left in the first period. 1-1 the score. Peterson is 32nd of the year from Bourke and Park on the power play at 5:04. Nedomansky for the Red Wings tied it up. His 7th of the year from Nolan at 11:25.
I would think Middleton would remember that anticipation by Gilbert, because he is great at watching somebody do that and then making the necessary play.
Gilbert has always had great talent, goaltending equipment, good catching glove. He's very quick, got a good pair of pads. But he's lacked that little ingredient which would make him one of the better goaltenders in the National Hockey League.
He covers up now, and the shots, unbelievably, are 4 for Detroit and 3 for Boston. But it is 1-1 with 40 seconds left. Fergus and O'Reilly out there with Bourque and O'Connell. Place out to the right of Gilbert. Smith on the draw with Fergus. And Schoenfeld gets it. Schoenfeld moves it for Larson, or Grodnick. Cleared into the Boston zone, but O'Connell back to get it first. O'Connell cuts away from Smith. Breaks center ice. 20 seconds left. Gives it to Fergus. Trying to get it back, and they can't. Smith fell down. Fergus able to cover the puck for Bourque. Now Fergus again. Off for O'Reilly. O'Reilly cuts in the middle. Still going. 7 seconds left. Puck batted around. And Woods able to kick it out of the zone to relieve the pressure on Detroit as the period ends. Detroit 4 shots and Boston 3. And the score at the end of the first period is Boston 1 and Detroit 1. Stay tuned for our first intermission between mini 1-on-1 opening round girls competition between Cape Cod seniors and Hudson. Later a feature with highlights from the Red Wings' former home, the Olympia.
Into the first period from Joe Louis Arena. The score is Boston 1 and Detroit 1. Mini one-on-one coming up during the intermission. We'll also take a look at the old Olympia, where the Red Wings played their games for so many years before they moved to the new Joe Louis Arena. And we'll check the scoring summary of that first period, too, before the start of tonight's second period. Right now, let's go to Ken Hodge and Ron DiGregorio for tonight's Mini One-on-One.
Tonight, from Clark Center Arena on the campus of Boston and UMass, Cape Cod Seniors meets Hudson in preliminary round girls competition as TV 38 Sports presents Mini One-on-One.
Mini One-on-One is brought to you by your New England Volkswagen dealer, where you can now test drive a 1982 gas or...
For the Cape Cod Seniors coming up, we have Kim Sullivan, and she'll be going against Karen Martin for the Hudson Kitty Hawks. Here goes Kim Sullivan now, picks the puck up to center ice, moves in. Something about the number on her back. And she misses the net, similar to another 88 I knew.
Well, I'll tell you, Karen Martin made a good save, and you always have to make good saves on people wearing 88.
Here comes Denise Ludeau, and she's going against Carla Gilliam for the Cape Cod Seniors. Fine save by Carla there, as she thwarts that attempt by Denise.
We're going to have for Cape Cod now, that's going to be Patty Story, and along with Rhonda Correa, and they're going to be facing on defense Jill Duplessis for Hudson Kitty Hawks.
Okay, here comes Cape Cod over the base, and she steps on the puck. And Jill Duplessis has a breakaway here for the Hudson Kitty Hawks, moving in on the goaltender here. And she fires high over Carla Gilliam's shoulder and puts the Kitty Hawks up by 1. Okay, now for the Kitty Hawks, we have Tina Cartinelli and Kathy Demare, and she'll be going against Stephanie Kelly. Stephanie Kelly breaking out with a puck now for the Cape Cod Seniors.
Good cut. Great play and a goal.
Play, super play.
And with that goal by Stephanie Kelly, we have a tied score. Hudson Kitty Hawks 1 and Cape Cod Seniors 1.
Rhonda Correa, Kim Sullivan, and Patty Story. And they'll be going against Tina Cardinelli and Kathy Demare.
That's Jill Duplessis. She gets it out. Wastes some time as Cape Cod now gets control. Number 88, that's Sullivan. Gets it over the 23. That's Patty Story. She's fighting, but the pass goes to center ice. That might end. It does, the shot. And we've got a 1-1 score here. As the only goals scored so far have been by the defensemen.
That seems to be a changing art in the game.
Right.
A lot of defensemen are scoring goals now. Okay, Denise Ludeau and Tina Cardinelli and Catherine DeMar coming up the ice for the Kitty Hawks. And on defense, we have Story and Correa for Cape Cod Seniors.
Here's Kelly in the corner, forcing the play for the Cape Cod, and Denise Van Buren breaks out. That's Denise Van Buren. She's coming in, tries to get a pass. It deflects to the goaltender, Karen Martin. Another pass. The defense again takes the offense.
Well, we're going to sudden death overtime again. It's 1-1 as the Cape Cod Seniors and the Hudson Kitty Hawks play to a 1-1 tie. Coming up to shoot for the Cape Cod Seniors will be Kim Sullivan, and she'll be going against Karen Martin. In goal for the Hudson Kitty Hawks. Nice save by Karen Martin. She really just didn't give her too much to shoot at right there.
I think so, and Karen just dropped at the right time.
Okay, Denise Ludeau coming up the ice now. She'll be going against Cara Gilligan. And she shoots wide of the net. Denise Ludeau shoots wide of the net.
And now it's a question of which shooter will be able to crack the armor of the goaltender. Kim Sullivan has another shot at it against Karen Martin.
Okay. Kim Sullivan over the line. She loses control of the puck momentarily. Makes a fine save. Karen Martin again come up with an expert save.
Here's Denise Ledoux. Can she break the armor of Carla Gilliam? No, she can't. And we'll do this all night if we have to.
No thanks. Okay, Kim. Let's see if you can do it this time. Karen Martin's played excellent in goal.
She has. Both goaltenders have it. It's a goal! That means Denise Ledoux must score to keep this marathon going and keep Hudson Kitty Hawks in the match. Here comes Denise now on Carla Gilliam. And a save by Carla Gilliam. And the final score, Hudson Kitty Hawks 1 and Cape Cod Seniors 2.
We're between the first and second periods from Joe Louis Arena tonight. The score stands Boston 1 and Detroit 1. Before the move to Joe Louis a couple of years ago, the Red Wings had played for a long, long time at the old Olympia.
Olympia, home of the Red Wings, a monument to some of the greatest names and moments in hockey history. The likes of Howie Morenz, King Clancy, and George Hay. Later, the great production line of Gordie Howe, Sid Abel, and Ted Lindsay. Stars like Terry Sawchuk, Alex Delvecchio, and Red Kelly, just to mention a few. Olympia has housed an estimated 70 million spectators in its 52-year history, and it's been a source of civic pride to Detroit. The stadium was still under construction when pro hockey first arrived in the Motor City. Originally named the Cougars in 1926, the team was renamed the Detroit Falcons in 1930, and 3 years later given their present label, the Red Wings. In the post-World War II days of the late 40s and early 50s, the club established a hockey dynasty, finishing first in their league 8 times in 9 years and capturing 4 Stanley Cups. The coveted prize has been in the hands of the Wings 7 times in NHL history. This was the building in its heyday.
Glenn Scholes takes the puck over the blue line, shoots it around the board to Tony Lesnick, number 8. He shoots, he scores. At 4:29 of the overtime, the Wings win 2-1, and they have the cup. Teammates fairly mobbed little Tony, the little fellow who scored the year's biggest goal. Montreal players skate off sadly, without even extending the traditional hand clasp of congratulations. Jubilant Detroit fans, excited to fever pitch by the tense dramatic struggle, flood out onto the ice in mad confusion. The Stanley Cup, now the Red Wings for the 6th time.
But there's been more to Olympia than hockey. Built originally for boxing, the stadium has hosted everything from political rallies and wrestling matches to the Ice Capades, the Harlem Globetrotters, music concerts, and Evel Knievel stunt shows. Players and fans admit to mixed feelings about the move. The history and romance of old Olympia can never be replaced. But all agree that Joe Louis Arena opens up a new age for Detroit hockey and high hopes for the Red Wings.
How are the Milwaukee Bucks, led by Sidney Moncrief and Marcus Johnson, taking aim on an NBA title? How is the mighty Samson strong support?
1-1, we're just a couple of minutes away from the start of the second period, and here's the first period scoring. Barry Peterson for the Bruins is 32nd of the season at 5:04. It was 1-0 Boston, and Vaclav Nedomansky tied it for the Red Wings with his 7th of the year at 11:25. Not much offense in the period, only 7 shots total. The Red Wings with 4, the Bruins with 3. Peterson 1 for Boston, Nedomansky for Detroit. It's even at 1 apiece. Let's go back now for second period action to Fred Cusick and John Pearson.
The ability to adjust in a split second to a new line of attack. Incredible talent. Watch Park now with the puck. And over to Peterson. Now this is the goal scorer's perfect position with several options. And Peterson went to the wrist shot, top corner, over the strength of the goaltender, Gilles Gilbert, and he beat him on a power play goal. That was the Bruins' only goal of the first period. The Red Wings scored one by Nedomansky, and that's the way it stands here at the start of the second period. Other games in the National Hockey League tonight. Pittsburgh is at Philadelphia, is at Pittsburgh. And that game is tied at 1 each. Linsman scoring for the Flyers. Hotham for the Penguins. Buffalo is at Montreal. Gainey has put the Canadians out in front 1-0 at 3:54 of the first period from Riseborough and Napier. And the Bruins tomorrow night will be in Philadelphia. But other games in the National Hockey League tonight. Hartford's at Vancouver. Colorado is at the New York Islanders, and the Islanders could set a new record. They have won 14 straight. This will be number 15 if they beat Colorado tonight. As we look at TV 38 in Northborough, Massachusetts, not too far from where I live. And everywhere we go, we see fans and signs, transplanted New Englanders who have watched from time to time
the Boston Bruins over many years on TV 38. Philadelphia, we gave you that at Pittsburgh, Washington at Minnesota, St. Louis at Toronto, Calgary at Los Angeles, and here set for the play-by-play second period, Fred Cusick.
Both teams short-handed, Casper and Nedomansky in the penalty box. But they'll be out in 17 seconds. Draw goes to Ray Bork, who's on with O'Connell. Bork forced deep by Ogrodnik. Slows it down. Off for O'Connell. Up for Bruce Crowder, and he lost it to Schoenfeld. Bork and Bruce Crowder collide. Blaisdell, Ogrodnik, shot, trickles in. Barron clears it off, but not out, and Larson fires and scores! Reed Larson from the right point drilled it into the far corner as Barron made an errant clear, and it is 2-1 Detroit.
27 seconds into the second period. You cannot let this guy get too many shots on goal. He has a wicked slap shot, Reed Larson. And he laid this one right across into the far corner through a screen of players. And the Red Wings take their first lead of the hockey game, 2-1 on a goal by Reed Larson, unassisted, I would believe, at 27 seconds. And for Larson, that's his 16th goal of the year.
And waiting now, the clubs are back at full strength as Larson makes it 2-1. Smith on the faceoff against Casper. Casper has Keith Crowder on the left, Bruce Crowder on the right. Back at the Boston end, it is Melnick there, trying to come out now. Keith Crowder rolls it up, Casper trying to break, and he's checked on the play by Blaisdell. And Blaisdell has it in the Red Wing zone. Loses to Casper. Casper to Keith Crowder. He's jammed up. Gets it to Bruce. Bruce has Casper free in front. Couldn't get it to him. Park trying to keep it in at the point. Did, but it bounces on a deflection to Blaisdell. And out comes Ogrodnik. One of the best players. Ogrodnik moving it in front. And a great stop on Derek Smith by Marco Barron as Smith was in alone.
Derek Smith, a very strong skater, breaks in on a pass here from Ogrodnik, cuts in nicely off the wing, takes it to the backhand, but Barron played that one beautifully. As Derek had the puck very close to him and to Barron, and he did not have much room to maneuver. And as he tried to cut in, take it to the backhander for maybe a flip up to the top corner, Barron took it away from him.
On the faceoff, O'Reilly out to Fergus. Fergus for Marcotte. Man open, O'Connell. Couldn't get it to him. O'Connell headed for the net. Deflection around and cleared by Eric Bale. And this will be icing.
When you see players like Derek Smith get in there all by themselves like he just did, and he did it in the first period, it means those wingmen are not being picked up by their opposing players, and that can be very dangerous. A little bit of running around, and that's what causes all of that confusion. You've got to stick on your wing. If you're having problems scoring goals, it's up and down your area, because the breaks will come if you play it with some intelligence.
Huber trying to clear it out. Nolan is checked by Fergus. Fergus trying to get it to Marcotte near the net. Gilbert clears it in the corner. O'Reilly checks Nolan. Nolan has the puck. Gets it around the boards to Korn. He's checked by Fergus. Fergus, O'Connell trying to keep it in. Tied up on the boards for the moment. Pinned there, and the face-off called again. Larson 16th, unassisted, 27 seconds into the second period. And about 2 minutes played now. As Wayne Maxner makes another line change for Detroit, sending out McKechnie and Woods and Jody Gage. O'Connell fires in. Larson trying to move it out. Has trouble. It rolls in front. Taken by O'Reilly for a backhander. Knocked wide. Never reached Gilbert. And back comes Gage. Gage on the right wing. Over the line. Checked by McCrimmon. The centering pass stopped by O'Reilly. O'Reilly trying to move it out with Marcotte. And they do. But Barrett has it. For Paul Woods. Cleared in. McCrimmon intercepted. Gage trying to set up Woods. Sets up Barrett. Barrett shot blocked by Barron. And Barrett had a great setup. O'Reilly in the corner, jammed up, and a face-off call. With the score, Detroit 2, Boston 1. Bruins hockey continues in a moment.
I want to tell you about Toyota's new diesel truck. It's the workhorse of the Toyota line. Under the hood is a...
Claude Loisel on the face-off against Barry Peterson to the right of Marco Barron. 17:25 left, second period, 2-1 the Red Wings. Draw to Schoenfeld, jammed up by Middleton, and the puck rolls the Red Wing zone. Levier moving after it, but Grodnik takes over. Grodnik, Loisel checked, finally able to work it out. Levier knocked it back in. It really hadn't cleared the zone. Bruins still forecheck. Peterson can't set up Middleton. Schoenfeld battling, rolls to Blaisdell, and the clear out. Picked up, it's an offside pass. Grodnik, a high stick over the shoulder, and the face-off is in the Detroit zone.
Tomorrow night here at the St. Joe Louis Arena, the Edmonton Oilers are in town, and the Wayne Gretzky show moves into the arena. And he could set a new National Hockey League record. He has now 75 goals. Needs 1 to tie Phil Esposito's record of 76 and 2 to break it.
Middleton battling Schoenfeld. It rolls to Grodnik, and he carries out. Long shot, saved Barron. Deflection into the stands, and the face-off call. And Detroit is listed now with 8 shots. That gives them 4 in this period, and the Bruins don't have any in this period, and just a total of 3 so far. But the 4-3 shots really didn't indicate the real tempo of the first period, but certainly Detroit, they've been a weak team defensively, giving up a flock of goals, 251, right up among the league leaders. But they've been checking here, maybe getting ready for Gretzky. The draw to Schoenfeld. Shot blocked by Barron. Hilliard trying to move it out. Bork rolls it up, blocked, kept in by Grodnik. He's checked. And out comes Peterson. Good break with Middleton. Open on the right. The pass is slow, though. Middleton checked by Schoenfeld. In deep, they battle. Levier there. Up it goes to Blaisdell. Can't move it out. It bounces now into the stands. And the face-off will be in the Red Wing zone.
The amazing Colorado Rockies are at the Nassau Coliseum against the Islanders. They have tied 2 games in a row, the Canadians and the Rangers, and they are now facing the iron of the National Hockey League and are out at front 1-0 at 11:40 of the first period. McMillan from Cotola and Lever, and they're looking to break the Islanders' 14-game winning streak.
Draw goes to Barrett. He's broken up. A steal over the line. Casper. Bruce Crowder, and the shot is blocked by Larson. Casper trying to center it again to Keith Crowder. In deep, Nolan. Bruce Crowder. They all battle behind the net. Still a battle. And finally, out of the pack, it goes to Nedomansky. Gets it off to Vail. Vail over the Boston line. Pass in, blocked. Oh, big play there defensively at the last moment by Casper. Out for Bruce Crowder, but that's an offside pass. And it's well that Casper was back there then.
Excellent play by Steve Casper, using his head to go on the defensive and back up Brad Park on that right side. Intercepted a dangerous Eric Vail pass headed for Nedomansky, who had cut over from right wing to left, in behind Vail and across the Boston blue line.
Nedomansky and Casper on the face-off. The draw to Melnick. Now Park. Casper. Moved it out, batted back in, and another offside is called.
Philadelphia's gone out in front of Pittsburgh 2-1 on a goal by Barber. That was in the second period. Buffalo has tied Montreal 1-1 on a goal by Howarth. And the St. Louis Blues at Toronto. The Leafs out in front 2-0. Derlago and Saganuk have scored for the Leafs.
Draw to Brad Park. Now Melnick. Casper. Cleared in. Maybe icing. It is, as Larson gets back there, and icing is called. But The 1981-82 Boston Bruins yearbook contains 144 pages of all the players' photos and information to help you follow the Bruins all season long. To get your copy of the 1981-82 Bruins yearbook, send $4 and check a money order. Boston Bruins yearbook, P.O. Box 8725, Boston, Mass. 02114. Charge it via Visa or MasterCard by calling 742-0200. McKechnie on the draw. Timeout for Barron for a moment. Now he's set. 2-1 Detroit. Nedemansky and Larson. Peterson scoring for Boston. Ferguson, McKechnie on the draw. McCrimmon now checked in deep. McKechnie battling. Out of it comes McCrimmon. Good breakout here for O'Reilly with O'Connell. Pass knocked over the line, and O'Connell is ruled offside on the play.
Good play by Tom Ferguson, his own end, playing the body to block out the Red Wing forechecker to allow McCrimmon to move the puck out to center ice. And this youngster has a lot of talents, including very, very good in his own end. Very seldom makes a mistake, and he is very helpful to the defense.
Around the boards, O'Connell drives it in. Marcotte battling for it, and Detroit ties it up and gets another face-off. And the Wings really buttoning up. We've had 5 minutes played here, and Bruins without a shot, and only 3 in the first period, and so far that gets to be the story of the game. And the Wings not known for their checking. Some of the lines not at all. A Nedemansky and a Eric Vale. McKechnie is a checker, though. He's out there now. And here comes Huber, moving it up to Korn. Korn broken up by O'Reilly. O'Reilly over the line. Looking, interference on O'Connell, and the Bruins will have a power play. O'Connell was interfered with by number 17, Jody Gage or Mark Osborne. At any rate, it will be a tripping call. With the score, Detroit 2, Boston 1. Let's pause for this message.